I'm Melanie Johnson along with my co-host Jen Foster. We are both 13-time best-selling authors. We've published over 2,500 books and made all of our authors #1 bestsellers. We own Elite Online Publishing. If you want to become a best-selling author, look us up at eliteonlinepublishing.com. Now, welcome to the podcast that shares secrets from top industry experts that show you how to get lasting success and results. This is the Elite Expert Insider Podcast. Hi, are you ready for another great podcast to learn how to get unstuck and get past your limiting beliefs for success? Well, I know I am. I'm Melanie Johnson, and I'm here with Jen Foster today. Hey, Jen, how are you doing?
Hey, everyone. Doing great.
I want to remind you to, that's good, I'm great too. So I want to remind you to subscribe to our podcast and share it with your friends. We really appreciate it. And we want to talk about limiting beliefs and things that are blocking you from your success. So we are going to dive right into it today, but make sure you subscribe first. And we have Dr. Matt with us. He's an expert at that. Thanks, Dr. Matt, for coming on our show today.
Oh, you're so welcome. So excited to be here.
Great. Well, Dr. Matt Mannino, tell us, how did you get into this field and get into chiropractor, all of that?
Yeah, it's just like I was in high school and had a lot of injuries from sports and getting sort of misdirected or redirected around the medical community. I went to a chiropractor and within like a few visits was totally free of pain. And, it really impressed me. And I think the thing that was really exciting to me is that he used his hands. There was no drugs or surgery. It was just like, it was all manual, and that really inspired me. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I was always intrigued by the human body, the physiology, how things work. It just amazed me. And it's like, hey, this is great. I can learn about the human body and use my hands. And so that's what motivated me. It wasn't this like grandiose idea to heal the world. And it was just a really enlightening experience, because I would say the first almost year, they really impressed upon us, really just over and over again, drilled it into our brains that the doctor doesn't do anything. You don't have power. You're really nothing. The key is that the human body has this intelligence. That's what does the healing. That's what has the power. They call it an innate intelligence. And there's principles that govern health. You just have to find out where it's stuck or blocked or it's being interfered with, right? And they really impressed on us that every human being has this power. It's already within them. And disease is just an expression of this power as being weakened or suppressed. And I came out of school $80,000 in debt with, student loans and everything else. And I'm like, they trained us, to really inspired us to trust the principle, not your education, not your skill, not your technique, not your marketing, not your branding, all this stuff that everybody, puts the demand on success. They said, no, trust the principle. Oh, and it's already inside you. You already have it. It just needs to be released. And so my thinking was, well, if this principle is so powerful in creating health, maybe, just maybe, there's principles that help us create wealth. And that's also within us. And that's also something that I can tap into and release and express. And if it's not, if there's symptoms of financial struggle, worry, stress, depression, fear, anxiety, those are just that. They're symptoms and signs that this prosperity nature or this wealth nature is being blocked or suppressed, right? So just as the human body expresses itself through pain, saying, hey, I need some help, I have the ability, it just, something's interfering. I took that exact same principle, applied it to my business, and within a year, completely debt-free. Within 3 years, built one of the largest chiropractic practices literally in the world, top 1%, millions of dollars. And it was by applying these principles, right? So that's sort of my message. That's sort of, where I come at with my personal development, is helping people realize, it's prosperity and wealth is nothing you search for on the outside. It's something you connect with on the inside. And once that's accessed, how do we just get really good at releasing it?
Yeah.
So you talked about releasing that. Is there like a number one cause for it? Is it stress, or where does it come from? What's the cause?
Yeah, great question. So this is sort of where we get into let's say the operating system of our nervous system. And the nervous system, its primary directive is safety and survival. And that's the same. It doesn't distinguish between keeping your body alive, physical survival, and psychological survival. So it sees those two things exactly the same. It doesn't make any distinction to it. So there's an automatic part of our nervous system, our parasympathetic or autonomic nervous system, that acts in our behalf to keep us alive. A bear walks in the room, you're running.
Yeah.
You're not thinking, what is the best way to deal with this bear, right? It's a reflex. It's called the fight or flight response.
Right.
And that is operating at what we call our subconscious. It's a deeper level of consciousness. Thank God, because we don't have to analyze and try to figure it out. And it's almost like, you don't think about digestion. You don't think about keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, because that part of the nervous system has it handled. But in the same way, it also protects who we are. It protects our identity. It has an essence of our purpose, our values, things that excite us and motivates us. And that's kept within our belief system. So now the belief system becomes the thing that determines really how we show up in life, the level of success, happiness, joy, all those things are governed by our belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So bottom line, again, if there's, it's the same way, if there's disease, dysfunction, and disorder physically, we're going to say that's because there's blockage on the nervous system that controls that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same way, if I'm unhappy, depressed, the victim response, a lot of different things, it's because there's a blockage on that aspect of my nervous system that allows me to express that. And that's held within the nervous system, or excuse me, within our belief
Mm-hmm.
system.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people talk about that as a limiting belief or a self-sabotaging belief. It's a big go-to term in personal development. However, I approach that as, well, I don't think my nervous system is out to sabotage me. I don't think my nervous system wants to limit me. My nervous system, what did I say? Its purpose, its job is to keep me safe.
Mm-hmm.
So bottom line, if there's something that I want and I don't have, or something, a goal or dream or desire that I'm searching for, and I'm just struggling and it's just not showing up, and all these things get in the way, I'm going to say it's because your subconscious doesn't think it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big difference between my nervous system limiting me and sabotaging me and keeping me from my goals, dreams, and desires, versus it feels threatened by all that time and money and love and value and joy and peace, right? So it's a mental shift to say, okay, if I don't have this, if I'm experiencing worry and stress and depression, all these things going on, that's because my nervous system is trying to get my attention about a belief system that I have that's not accurate about me. Not that it's trying to sabotage or limit or prevent. It's simply saying, hey, I don't feel safe with this thing that you say that you want. And here's the key with that. It's because it's learned that.
Right. It's formed, right?
Earlier. Yeah. These belief systems that we're talking about, neuroscience says 95% of everything we think, say, and do throughout our day is governed at the level of the subconscious, at the level of the beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's formed and set in place up until the age of 8. So research says by the time we're 8 years old, 80% of our belief system, which is our life operating system, that's going to be dictating everything we think, say, and do and act on for the rest of our lives, is set by the time we're 8 years old. So most people, most business owners and adults are operating, businesses with talent and skill and education and training oh, but there's an 8-year-old kid operating it emotionally and spiritually, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's the disconnect. So
Mhm.
our goal, the work, is to first understand that principle, that it's not out to sabotage or limit as much as it is keeping you safe with what it has defined as
Mhm.
safety.
Mhm.
So if we want to look at our results in our business, or look at our results in our relationship, or look at whatever's going on the outside, that's how your nervous system, this operating system, the subconscious, has defined safety for you.
Mhm.
So now it becomes the process of upgrading the definition of safety.
Right.
Not trying to change your belief system, not trying to overwhelm it or overrun it with meditation, affirmation, and visualization. Great techniques, but that's like, to me, that's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Yeah, you can do it, but
Mhm.
it's,
It's
way too much
tough.
work.
A lot of weight, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Who needs that? You already got enough pressure on you. Oh, I got to do
Right.
my affirmation. Oh, I got to do, this, that, other thing. Versus, thank you, nervous system, for letting me know that you've associated pain with money, or you've associated loss with relationships, or whatever is showing up. And at one point in time, that was probably accurate. At one point in experience, really early on, that was probably right, the best thing in that moment. It ain't
Mhm.
working now.
Right.
So how can we upgrade? How can we make new associations? That becomes the key.
Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you overcome when you get those limiting beliefs and you want better results? Like, what do you do when you have that?
Yeah, great question. I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and it's really important, because that's where everybody goes. But sometimes just this idea that, hey, you have thoughts, and you have feelings, and you have habits, but they're not you, right? These are functions of your nervous system. Just like if your stomach was growling, you wouldn't say, oh my gosh, I'm growling. You would know that, hey, there's a part of me that's reacting because it doesn't have enough food. I will respond to that and get it some food. So, right? The same thing with our thoughts and feelings and behaviors. So often we hear people say, yeah, I'm worried, I'm stressed, I'm depressed. No, you're not. Your nervous system is. It's a part of you. It's an organ system that's
Mhm.
letting you know. Again, it's really simple. That's what's so cool about this work, is that if you feel really good about something, you have connected, you have access truth, you have access your strength, your gifts, your talents and abilities, and you're moving towards purpose and destiny. That's
Yeah.
the only way a human being actually feels good. There's a
Right.
lot of things that can trigger that, but at the end of
Mhm.
the day, it's your nervous system that has associated this with truth and life and light.
Yeah.
And the exact opposite is true too. When I feel bad, I'm worried, stressed, and all these negative, or what we say lower energetic states, that's because it's associating. It basically, what that's telling you in that moment, there's a part of you that you need to access in this moment, but your nervous system has took it and sort of locked it away. It's trapped, and you feel bad because you can't access it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's where that's all these things come from. Worry about money and finance and all these things. It's simply this wealth nature that you have, your God-given gifts, talents, and abilities, is suppressed. You don't feel you have access to those qualities and traits and gifts in order to bring them to the surface and apply them to your business, apply them to that customer, apply whatever it needs. That's why we feel bad. So when you ask what is the process, to me, that's the first step, is just acknowledging and recognizing, why do I think that? Why is my nervous system thinking that? Why is my amygdala afraid? You don't get afraid, your amygdala, that's the fear center, right? Why is my hypothalamus generating these emotions? It's afraid. It feels threatened. Okay, nervous system, let's find out where that came from. And
Mhm.
so the second step of this process is connecting with what I call intensities and patterns. Is this a really strong emotion? Because the stronger emotion, the more deeply rooted with belief. These two go hand in hand, right? And is there a pattern or cycle? do I feel like this a lot? Does this emotion or thought or behavior show up all the time, right? Is this a pattern? Is this every time I hear this or every time I see that, this shows up? And so once again, my nervous system associated this thing with this reaction. And at the end of the day, it feels that that's the safest response to go victim or to get upset or angry, whatever. And so now the third and last aspect of this is begin to understand that the nervous system only knows you. And this is the other thing that happens in personal development. They say, oh, you have belief systems about money or limiting beliefs about relationships or purpose or anything. No, you don't, because your nervous system has no idea what that stuff is. It doesn't know money. It doesn't know job or girls or husband, none of that.
Right.
So you don't have beliefs around that. You only have beliefs. As I say, you only have one belief. It's, who do I think I am?
Yeah.
How does my subconscious perceive my identity? Right. And so now the healing question, how we remove that blockage is to access our truth, the access of the truth. So the questions of what does this mean about me when my nervous system thinks that or feels this way or wants to do this, even though I know I shouldn't, right? The Bible talks about Paul being all stressed about wanting to do this, but he's compelled to do this. And again, that's because it's a habit that's been trained out of safety and survival. So when we ask the question of who does this make me, what belief does this say about me? Or what must I believe about myself to think and act and behave this way? And once we sort of connect with what I call the lie or the dark side, then it begins to matter of flipping it over. Because that's the other cool thing with this is your subconscious can't make up stuff about you, right? It can't pull something out of the hat and say, oh, you believe this about yourself, right? 10 people can have the exact same horrible, traumatic childhood experience, and all 10 of them are going to have a different perception of what that meant to them, right? And so we see this all the time in my work. I've seen thousands of times. I mean, literally kids in the same family being exposed to the same parents. Every one of them said it meant something different about them to what was said or done or whatever else. And so that's what we want to begin to connect with. That is the question that we begin to ask our heart, ask our subconscious, and it has the answer. So this is where I do have a 3-point breakthrough process. It's a program that I have on, my course. It's a digital virtual program, 3 steps that we go through. But in this moment, the idea is just to connect with, the intensity of these thoughts and emotions, the pattern, where did they come from? Where, how long have they been there? And then that most important question, what does this mean about me?
Yeah.
Allow that to be exposed and finding what's true in that moment. Value, worth, trust, strength, control, knowledge. Those are the things that we're looking for when we ask, when we sort of put the mirror and look on the inside, versus what did she do to me, or why is the government or economy, trying to fix that, it'll never
blame
work.
stuff. Yeah.
Wow, Dr. Matt, you have given us so much to think about and so much information today. We really, really appreciate having you on the show. My mind is reeling with all the different, the processes and everything that you gave us. Thanks for coming today. Tell us where we can find more information from you.
drmattmannino.com. So www.drmatt, DRMATTMANNINO.com. And I've got a free gift for everybody who visits the website. It's my subconscious playbook. So I know we had a short time together today, but this ebook, it's a free ebook, complimentary, really sort of breaks down all of my research and training as to really understanding the subconscious mind and how to begin to work with your nervous system versus against it. So great resource for everybody.
Awesome.
Correct.
We'll put that link up on the video here for YouTube, and those who are listening, just go to drmattmannino.com. It'll be in the show notes, and you can get that free ebook.
Awesome.
Thanks. Thanks so much for coming. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and like it and share it with everybody. And if you're looking to write a book, you know where to contact us at Elite Online Publishing. And if you want to produce a podcast, we do that too. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey, are you looking to increase your revenue, build credibility, and elevate your brand? This podcast is brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, an innovative publishing and full spectrum marketing company. They will publish and market your book to make it a #1 bestseller. Becoming an author is the best way to market your business. So contact them at eliteonlinepublishing.com today. All of their authors become #1 bestsellers.